Matter of fact, you need to be in therapy. Your child need to be in therapy. Your husband need to be in therapy. Everybody need therapy because it's therapeutic. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your girl, Amanda Michelle. What's up to all my new subscribers? And if you aren't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to your girl. And follow me on Instagram at It's Amanda Michelle. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about mental health. I actually started therapy in the quarantine, and I just wanted to share some of my experience with it, and then also just have a conversation about mental health. As I always say, I actually had a friend that I wanted to do this with, but people just be, yeah. So anyway, mental health. Mental health comes in so many different types of forms and fashions, and you don't have to be crazy or depressed or anything like that to work on your mental health. It's something that should be proactive and not reactive. So for me, in my case, I started therapy simply because, for one, my roommate told me about a program that was offering free therapy during the pandemic, and I was like, well, they always say, therapy is good. I've never had a therapist, never talked to one, never really felt the need to talk to one because I talk to my friends, I talk to God. Like, I don't know, but I was like, this is the perfect time to try it when it's free. So I started therapy probably in November. And when I say it has been such a great experience, not even because I got solutions to my problems or because it saved a life or anything. It was just a great experience, and it's really nothing to be afraid of. I actually had a male therapist, and when I first realized I was getting a male therapist, I was like, well, damn, I'm like, do I want a man? And it was great. I actually think I would prefer a male therapist from here on out. But so just a little bit about my mental health. I don't suffer from depression or anything. I realized during the pandemic that I may have had some anxiety because I was having like feelings and like butterflies or a need to be doing something, but I couldn't do something, so it was making me uncomfortable. And I realized that's part of living in LA. As a woman in LA trying to pursue a dream and pay rent, my body and mind over the past 3 years became warped to no days off. Because if I'm not working to get money for rent, I need to be working to be an actress and vice versa. And both of those are like things I have to hustle to attain. I don't have a 9 to 5. I'm not making a salary. Like, I got to get out here and hustle both ways. So, that's one reason at the beginning of the pandemic, I was really appreciative of being able to sit down and not have to do anything because nobody was doing anything. But at the same time, I also was still having anxiety because I'm so used to being on the go. I had like 5 jobs. So just a little bit of anxiety, and also just any childhood issues I wanted to talk about, things I've looked back in hindsight, sleep. I got to talk to my therapist just about anything, and he was a complete stranger. I didn't feel judged. And not that I think my friends judge me or that someone else would necessarily judge me if I vented to them or talked to them, but it's just like you subconsciously probably hold back because you've created this public persona or this certain image for your friends or your parents or God, whoever it is you're talking to. And now it's just this person who's here to see if you're crazy or to see, if you need tangible solutions to help you better yourself. So I did therapy once a week for an hour every week with a man. I basically told him about any issues I was having. I filled out like this sheet where you check off if you are exhausted all the time, or if you're fatigued, or if you feel down or tired, all those type of things. And you check those off. You give them a little bit of family history, if you grew up in a 2-parent home, that type of stuff. And then he can build from there, because I didn't come in with a specific problem like, oh my God, I'm feeling crazy, you know? And so honestly, I can't necessarily say, which is no fault to him, but that any of the solutions were like, oh, this is working for me. Yes, I sleep better now. Yes, I never have anxiety anymore. But I just feel like it was, for one, it gave me accountability. It held me accountable for every week showing up to talk about an issue I might be facing that maybe I bottled up. But now that I'm in therapy, I'm like, oh yeah, well, I need to tell you everything that has happened in the past week. So let me, think of everything. And so you don't keep that stuff in. Also, he was a listening ear. I feel at some points it's crazy. At the beginning of therapy, like when I first started, I felt like I was doing so much talking. And I guess because I really needed somebody to talk to. I live in LA. I basically live alone. I don't really talk to my roommate. Yeah, my friends aren't here. I found myself calling my friends all the time. Because I want to talk to my friends, but they have lives or whatever. So it was just good to have somebody that had to talk to me once a week. It was almost like my boyfriend. No, that's inappropriate. But seriously though, so it was just good to be able to talk to him. And so I was just ranting off like blah, 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 blah. And then at some points I'd be like, let me let him talk and see what he got to say. And so that's how it started. Then I got to a point where I felt like he was telling me like, or basically questioning like, why are you even in therapy? Like, there's nothing wrong with you. And the way that my mind works is I'm pretty good at fooling people into thinking nothing is wrong with me, And I remember I cried one time because he was saying, you're okay. And I just really I guess I blew up. Like, I'm tired of people telling me I'm okay. I don't feel okay. Like, something is not right. I mean, I may not be mentally unstable or something, but something ain't right. So stop telling me I'm okay when I'm telling you I'm not okay. So that was like a different side of me that he hadn't seen or whatever. And I went through probably like 2 weeks of that, like just so unmotivated, not wanting to do anything. And I found that along with therapy and along with God and nurturing my spiritual relationship, it allowed me to pull myself out of that. And it's also like what you speak over yourself, because I was telling my friends for like a week and a half, I'm mentally unstable. Like, something is not right. I just felt like something was not right. Like, not that I was crazy. And it's almost, I wanted him to say that, yeah, you have this, or just diagnose me with something, because what the fuck? Why am I feeling like, unmotivated, not wanting to do anything? And he wouldn't do that, because he was like, girl, what you want me to tell you? It ain't nothing wrong with you. And so I just started to take practices to pull myself out of that. I do yoga, which it's something that I like. I don't feel pressured to do it. So I think it's better for me than working out. And that helps with my spiritual, mental, and physical well-being, which goes into your mental health. All of them are tied and connected. So if one is out of order, they're all out of order. I don't know. I didn't want to rely on coping mechanisms, because smoking weed and drinking, whether it be wine, hard liquor, watching TV, sleep, those are all coping mechanisms to escape your reality. Not every time you do it, but if you find you're doing it in excessive moments, or if you're doing it in a response to how you're feeling, it's like, okay, well, maybe I need to step back and check something, because what am I responding to? Why is this what I'm doing? Because when the high comes down, or when the distraction is gone, I'm back in the same mental state. And so I just want to say that I highly recommend therapy. My therapist actually told me he's finishing his program and he's about to get a new job. So basically he won't be my therapist anymore. And I was like kind of sad. And he, like, I wouldn't say it like cry, but I was like, damn, so what am I gonna do now? Like, who's gonna be my therapist now? And it's not even because he just gave me so much insight into my life. He just gave me a place to be free. You know, he gave me a place to what God be trying to give us. It's sad you go, you know, but God allowed that man to be used, or that space to be used, so that I could do it. And all these sessions were on Zoom, or are on Zoom, so it wasn't like, you know, not COVID friendly. I wasn't uncomfortable because I was in the comfort of my own home. And so, yeah, I just like the freedom that you find to be yourself in therapy. I remember one of my friends saying she don't know, she might not even open up to a therapist. And it's like, girl, why? Like, they don't even know you. You don't even know. Like, I ain't probably never see that man again. So I just think you should definitely check out therapy. I know Black people have this stigma on therapy. Even my mom was like, you know, I ain't in therapy. Like, unless you need somebody to talk to or something going on. It's like, girl, it's free. And everybody should be in therapy. Matter of fact, you need to be in therapy. Your child need to be in therapy. Your husband need to be in therapy. Everybody need therapy because it's therapeutic. That's why it's called therapy, because it's therapeutic. So yeah, I just wanted to give a little bit insight on my journey in therapy thus far. It's been 6 months. And my biggest takeaway was just the freedom to say whatever I want to say about anybody, about myself, and not feel judged or feel that I have to cover, because we cover so much. Acting has really helped me with not covering so many things, because you aim to tell the truth in acting. That's the point. That's why you relate to the characters and the audience relates to the work. But therapy allowed me to dig even deeper into that. So it's something that I'm definitely going to continue. And I don't think there's an age limit. There's not a what level are you on or whatever per se. It should be free. I'm not sure why it's not free for everyone. But I just encourage you to take therapy. Maybe if my friend does become available, I'll bring her back and she can talk about her experience with mental health as well. Because like I said, I haven't really experienced any like diagnosable things from my mental health state, other than anxiety, which was really kind of something I create in my mind. But it wasn't, I still didn't get diagnosed with anxiety. It was the normal kind of anxiety that people have. And of course, I was in a pandemic. I'm still in the pandemic. I'm in a quarantine. So, of course, it was elevated. And being in LA, like I said, with that mentality that I'm not used to having, it just kind of pushed me into that. But depression or whatever, you know, these are just things you need to talk about. You could be walking around functioning. And I have a friend, she's a functional depressed. And you wouldn't even know it, because sometimes people aren't even aware that they're depressed. That's one reason that I was in therapy, because I'm like, could I be depressed? Why I ain't got no motivation? Why I don't want to do shit? And yeah, I'm just lazy. That's really what it is. And I didn't have any motivation because I wasn't looking at the bigger picture of, I'm doing this for my family. I'm doing this for God. I'm doing this because I'm called to this. So think bigger, see bigger, be bigger. Ooh, okay. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in to my YouTube video. As always, thank you for the support, and I'll see you in the next one.